What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily Fantasy Quickie. Hey guys, it's a Sunday and welcome to your daily Quickie. Playoff once again, playoff still. And we are closing in. Actually, we will be approaching the last day of the week 18. And for some, it's actually the last day of their finals. And for others, maybe you're in quarterfinals or semifinals, but tomorrow would be a big judgment day, and I'm sure there are a lot of close matchups there that will need tomorrow's games to be good for them or bad for the other teams for them to be able to win. How are you, Kamish?
Hello guys. I can feel the tension in the air. A lot of managers are really panicking right now because I've seen a lot of questions and a lot of matchups are going down the wire.
Yep.
So that's very exciting. Tomorrow will be very exciting.
Yeah, and I was just talking about my finals, which is also down the wire. I'm down once. Well, I'm up 5-4, but it's really, really close. Like field goal, free throws are close, rebounds, assists, turnovers, steals. Those stats are close. I think and the points, even the points. So anything can happen, and it's also 8 versus 8 tomorrow. I mean, 8 players versus 8 players. So that's a little more adds a little more excitement because you have equal number of players towards the last day. So anything can really happen, right? And today we've seen some very unlikely heroes for certain teams, right?
Yes.
Heroes that you will never expect. But let's talk about first returning players. And I would say these are heroes as well because my opponent had LaMelo Ball, who played today and who played really well. I mean, he started well. I don't think he finished the game too well enough because the stats didn't really, he had 11 points, I think, in the first half alone. So in the second half, he was more contained in the second half, and it was Rozier who did most of the damage in the second half. So LaMelo's back. He should be playing tomorrow.
Yes, I think he's gonna play tomorrow because, as I said, he looks in shape. His wrist looks. I mean, the injury is just in the wrist, so I think he might play tomorrow. He looks rusty though. So don't be afraid if you're going up against LaMelo. He might have a bad game.
Well, really, for me, if I'm going up against LaMelo, it's really not the shooting that I'm worried about. It's more of the other things that he can do. He can steal, he can rebound, he can pass the ball. He had 5 rebounds and 5 assists today, I think. And that's really a lot for someone who just came from injury. So I think those are the things that you'll probably be worried about when it comes to LaMelo. Kawhi also returned. Well, as for Kawhi, they don't have a game already tomorrow, but if you made it through until the next round with him, then congratulations. Hopefully, he's going to be healthy next week.
Yes, and the good news is the games, as I said, next week for the Clippers are spaced out. They have 1-day breaks, and then there's even a 2-day break there. So I think the chances of him playing all 3 games is very high.
Yeah.
For Kawhi. Although he did not have that great of a game today, but still he looked okay. He looked good. Next week he should be better.
I am just wondering if how many Kawhi-led teams are still alive at this point.
Not much.
Right?
I would say
because
not much.
He's actually been good throughout the regular season. He's been top 5, top 6, right? And he probably did you well. I mean, got you in the playoffs. And then the playoff comes, he missed a lot of games. So I'm not sure if there are a lot of teams who are still in it with Kawhi being one of their players.
Yes.
So comment below if you are one of those teams, right? How about Sabonis? How many teams with Sabonis are still alive? So Sabonis not only screwed managers because he did not play, he screwed managers today because he played. And a lot of teams did not put him up.
Me.
right? And it was, no one really expected him to play, but he did.
I have 2 leagues, as I said, in the playoffs right now. Both have Sabonis, and though I'm still alive in both of those leagues, if I was able to play Sabonis today, I would have gotten the other league for sure. For sure, I would have won it already. And the irritating part is, I slept last night putting Sabonis. I activated Sabonis, but I have a complete lineup today, so I put Sabonis in the bench just in case that he's gonna play. I'll put him up, but then I didn't pick up early. so it's my fault, but that's how fantasy rolls sometimes. He played today. The irritating part is he was 26, 19, and 14 today.
Yep.
I mean, that's insane.
And that's very limited minutes because the game was a total blowout, right? I'm not sure how many minutes he played, but it was 57-point close. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't. It was very limited minutes that he played. He played
29.
He played 29 minutes, which is not bad, right? Not bad.
Yes.
But those stat line for
what is more irritating.
Yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, that's what makes it more irritating. 29 minutes in a blowout game. Who would have thought someone whose back supposedly is hurting would play 29 minutes in a 57-point blowout and do that? So I've seen a lot of managers who are saying that they're out because of this guy, and I'm sure a lot of Sabonis-led teams are out.
Yeah, yep, solid stat line for Sabonis today, unfortunately, for those who weren't able to play him. Today was also there were a lot of unlikely heroes that maybe saved your team. Let's talk about, I guess, players who should have been rostered really, and not really players who just stream. Okay, so we'll talk about Khem Birch first. We all know Khem Birch, after the Chris Boucher injury, would be one of the most wanted fantasy players out there, especially for this week because they have 5 games, right? Yes. So, and today he proved, actually throughout the week, he has been solid. In every game that Boucher has missed, he has been solid. Khem Birch, so he should not be laying around in your waiver wire even at this point.
And Khem Birch has turned out to be the ad of the week, basically.
Yep.
The ad of the week. And if you added him before the week, which Jeremy's opponent did, actually I did in one of my leagues, that's why I was able to still stay close, although I'm down. This week, he has a total of, I'll give the totals. He has a total of 38 rebounds. He has a total of 6 steals. He has a total of 4 blocks, 3 3-pointers, and he has averaged 20 points in 4 games already. And he has 1 more game next week.
Tomorrow. So, they have one more game tomorrow, right?
Yes, tomorrow. And so
of all the Toronto players, he is probably the safest from any rest, right? Like tomorrow, we don't even know. I'm sure he won't. I mean,
you never know.
Why would he? I mean, he's not even the star player there, and he probably want more burn out there. And here's the ironic thing: I was thinking that Khem Birch might not play as well because they were against Utah. The same thing that I felt when Van Vliet said he would play. I thought that they won't play well, but they did play really well today. They nearly won the game.
I didn't expect that either. And he did play well, as Jeremy said. So, it's been unpredictable season really. So, for Fred VanVleet owners, I own Fred VanVleet, so I'm happy about it. But I think he's not going to play tomorrow. So, I don't know how to feel about it.
I don't know how to feel anymore as well because I own Fred VanVleet, wherein most of my teams with Fred VanVleet will be eliminated tomorrow. But I am against Fred VanVleet, so I am hoping he won't play tomorrow. But I don't know. We don't know what's up with Toronto. But yeah, other unlikely heroes here are Guillermo Hernangomez of the New Orleans Pelicans. Another double-double today. With solid defensive stats as well.
I think you should add Hernangomez already. Adams, I don't know if he has a timeline. I don't know if he's going to come back or not this season. I think Hernangomez will be starting for the foreseeable future. There's only 2 weeks left. So that's possible. He might start until the end of the season because the Pelicans are not in the playoff anyway. So I've added him. I've added him in most leagues. So you should too.
Yeah.
This is not a fluke. It's not a fluke.
Yep, it is not. As long as he's going to be starting and he plays 25, 30 minutes a game, he had 27 today. He should be good. Rebounding, good field goal, and a few blocks or steals here and there.
He's going to be my ad of the week for next week. Just a tip to people who are watching. He's going to be my ad of the week.
So in case, just make sure you add the right Hernangomez.
Yeah.
Because you might add the wrong Hernangomez. And well, the wrong Hernangomez played pretty well today in 21 minutes, so not bad. But still, consistency-wise, the New Orleans Hernangomez would be more consistent than the Minnesota Hernangomez. So make sure you add the right one. Ricky Rubio had 6 steals today. He also played 32 minutes, which is a lot. And he had 7 assists. Not a bad line, but the 6 steals would probably be a big help for a lot of managers because, like I said, steals is one of those stats that when you get lucky, it's really hard to come back from if you are down, right?
Yes, Rubio has played very well the past 2 games. I have him in Roto leagues. I did not play him because I don't trust him, but well, he burned me today with those 6 steals. He's a guy who can really get a lot of steals and can get hot in a hurry. So I know he was dropped in some leagues. So if you want to add him, maybe not now yet because their schedule is not too good next week. So maybe a stream if we can wait.
Yeah, just wait. You can probably just wait. But yep, steals is, like I said, very valuable in the playoffs. Steals and blocks in particular. Oshae Brissett of Indiana played 40 minutes in a blowout. And he had a double-double with 4 blocks. Solid player. And we've talked about him before.
Yeah.
He should be an ad, right?
And a lot of people are irritated at him also because a lot of people who are going up against him are so angry because it's a 57-point blowout. Why are you playing a guy 40 minutes in a 57-point blowout? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So sometimes, how would you analyze something like that? You can't, right? But Oshae should continue to be owned even if Sabonis has come back because he's going to play the power forward to Sabonis center and no Miles Turner. So, this guy is 6'7", but he's
very athletic, 6'7". He can play defense, most definitely, and he can rebound the ball. So really,
for blocks today, I mean, imagine if you had Brissett, Hernangomez, and these guys, and your opponent is laughing at you. And then this happens.
If you want to know how many blocks he had this week, he had 12 blocks this week in 4 games.
Unbelievable.
And 4 steals in 4 games. So pretty much average 1 steal and 3 blocks per game, which is solid for a player you just picked up. And of course, he had almost double rebounds every game.
But I'll say this. Yes, fantasy is luck. There's a lot of luck involved, but sometimes when you look back at things, like for Jeremy also in his matches where he won, where he lost, I think we could say that if you made the right moves, you could have won.
Yep,
right?
definitely.
I'll give you an example. Brissett last week in my quarterfinals, I made it to the semifinals this week, but I could have added Brissett, but I did not. I chose somebody else. If I added Brissett then, I would have won that series, although I did win that series. And I would have won this series easily with 12 blocks, as Jeremy said. I would have won this series easily. If I woke up earlier, I would have played Sabonis. I would have won the series also. So, really, if you look at it, there's a lot of luck involved. But if you wanted to win, there are moves that you could have made that will make you win. It's just
and the timing of the moves as well. Like
Yeah.
I was telling Eric a while ago, last week, I pretty much routed my opponent. Really, it was close, but I could sense that this is a win already, and I waited more time before I decided to add Khem Birch. Right, I thought that I'll add Khem Birch on the last game of Toronto next week. Right, so and the day before that last game, my opponent now in the finals added him. Right, so that's a big blow to my roster because he now has a very deep roster, and while my roster is, well, it's not too bad, but the 6th or 7th player that would be playing tomorrow are what, Mo Harkless and another waiver ad, which is really not good players compared to maybe Khem Birch, right? So those types of moves, I think will, if I lose tomorrow, would be one of my regrets for this league in particular, because like I was telling Eric, the first place winner gets a lot more way more than the second place winner, right? It's a big 5-digit number difference between the first and the second place. So that might be a move that I will regret. And my opponent also added LaMelo early this week, which I could have done as well, right? But yeah, those moves very important. The Anthony Melton.
Well,
If you're looking for defensive stats, I guess.
did.
Yep.
I got the defensive stats I wanted. I got 4 blocks and 4 steals out of him this 2 games, this back-to-back. But again, as I said, when the field goals, turnovers, even the free throws, you have to be ready for that, because that's what happened to me. I was able to come back in the steals and the blocks, but I lost turnovers, I lost free throws. So it just evened out. But look at your case if that is the case. But maybe you already lost free throws anyway, or field goals anyway. So it could be much better help for you.
So the Anthony Melton, Mo Wagner. Do you trust Mo Wagner?
No, I don't trust Mo Wagner. I still
do
don't.
You add Mo Wagner?
No, I would say if you want to stream Mo Wagner, go ahead, stream him. But if you expect 24 points every game, you'll be disappointed. That's all I will say.
And lastly, Frank Jackson. We talked about him. I think if not yesterday, the other day, he should be a good stream if you need threes.
I'll add something about Frank Jackson. I think he should not be streamed anymore. You should add him now. If you're already sure of making it to the next round next week, you should add him now because he has 5 games next week.
I was just about to say that Detroit has one of the better schedules next week, and he's probably one of the safer players to play next week in Detroit because he's not the one that's going to be rested as well.
If you have Steph and you added him, you got the 3-pointers and those 2 alone.
Yep.
So you should anybody should add him because he could win the threes next week.
Those are the unlikely heroes for today. Tomorrow we'll see who are the unlikely heroes that would probably be added or used by fantasy managers. Maybe you could comment below who are your unlikely heroes for today and who were the unlikely heroes of your opponent.
How about JTA? You didn't mention JTA.
Oh yeah, JTA. Juan Toscano Anderson had 4 steals and 5 blocks?
4 steals and 5 blocks. What I want to know is, shout out to the managers who had him in their lineup today.
In deep leagues, I think you...
No. I want 12 to 14 team leagues. Please comment in our...
Comment
if you had him today.
Whether in YouTube or in Facebook.
Yeah.
Comment if you had him today.
Greatest feeling in the world, right? I'm sure if you woke up and you saw that, you'll be like, okay, unbelievable. You
will never expect it, right? Especially if you really needed the blocks and the steals, right? Because he did pretty much he didn't give anything else in other departments. He had good numbers, but the steals and the blocks were really the best.
The question here is, do you trust that he's gonna be
Now, Oubre might be out, right?
Oubre they will evaluate him further, but the injuries, the fracture, the torn ligaments and everything doesn't look good. So he might not come back, in my opinion.
Yeah. So JTA could be a good add for the remainder of the playoffs if Oubre does not come back.
But Oubre has not been playing for a while already. So Juan Toscano has not had really eye-popping numbers even when Oubre is out. So we have to be careful in expecting these kinds of numbers.
So with Oubre out, I guess if not JTA, it might be Kent Bazemore in Golden State.
Yeah, that's
a player to stream.
There's Bazemore, there's JTA. So you can
just because managers might go chasing JTA because of those four steals and 5 blocks, but we all know this could be just a fluke, right? It probably won't happen again.
I actually like Bazemore more. Now that you've said it, I like Bazemore more. If you're gonna chase someone in Golden State, I like Bazemore. I think he's starting and he'll get more minutes than JTA.
Yep. The only flack in Bazemore's game is the field goal, but the rest has been good. He actually gave me 9 rebounds today with a couple of steals and 10 points. So not bad for someone I just streamed for the past 2 games, right? So if you need steals and some rebounds for a small player like a guard or a small forward, then Kent Bazemore could be an ad. But be careful about JTA. Don't go chasing those 4 steals and 5 blocks. Yeah. If you want steals and blocks, maybe Tybal would be the better stream for tomorrow. Right? Matisse Tybal, who has been hot as well in the defensive side of the ball. Alright, so let's talk about players. Lastly, maybe we just run through some players who played really well, but really nothing surprising, I guess, about these players. Luka and Russell Westbrook had a showdown of sort, right? They were against each other, right? Am I correct?
They went up against each other, yes.
Yeah, and Luka Russell Westbrook had 42 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. Luka had a monster line of 31 points, 12 rebounds, and 20 assists today. So if you had Luka, congratulations.
Yeah,
so
and
pretty much, I think he missed the last game, right?
He missed the last game. Yes, he missed the last game. So I said he made it up.
Yep.
He made it up today. Yeah, for the game he missed. And Kristaps still doesn't have a timeline.
Yeah.
So there. I think Luka will have more minutes, more usage, more responsibility with that.
Yep. Zion Williamson also played solid today, had 37, and the field goal, he's really elite when it comes to Zion. 14 of 17 today. He had 9 rebounds and 8 assists, although he had 7 turnovers, but probably you're gonna take that.
Yes.
Field goal, really, what I love about Zion is the field goal.
The field goal, yes. He's such a great field goal
high field goal player, yeah.
And the thing is, the assists have been improving as well, as we've said. So I was just wondering, like Julius Randle, maybe he's gonna be a first rounder next year. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. So there.
So yeah, and of course his partner Lonzo Ball also played well, 33 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals. Actually, Lonzo has been playing well for the past couple of weeks or past week now. He's had really good games and very timely good games because he's been in and out of the lineup for pretty much the whole season, but him performing in the playoffs would be a welcome sight for his managers.
And actually, the Pelicans have a very cushy schedule left. That's why these 2 players would be difference makers. as long as they play out the rest of the 8 games left in their schedule.
Yeah.
They have a very easy schedule.
So let's see. Maybe that's actually, schedules can also be deceiving, right? Because even if you feel that they have a good schedule, well, the chances of them performing maybe is higher, but it's really no guarantee as well. Like we said, I expected Van Fleet to not play well today versus a Utah team who's a great defensive team, but hey, he played well. Miles Bridges is actually probably one of the sleeper picks of the year.
Yes, Miles Bridges. I'm one of the managers who do not respect Miles Bridges.
Who do you think
But it,
should be a better own now? PJ Washington or Miles Bridges?
now or going forward?
Moving forward, next year, who would you pick first? PJ Washington or Miles Bridges?
In Roto leagues, it's really Miles Bridges. In head-to-head leagues, it's close, but I might go Miles Bridges now. Because it's very underrated. 52% in field goal, 82% in free throw, and 40-something% in 3 points. I did not really know about it except this year. It has been this efficient. And his turnovers non-existent. So the difference this year, that's why people are noticing, is that his counting stats have caught up with the efficiency, and he's kept the efficiency even with the counting stats.
Yeah.
So
even the field goal, he's attempting a bunch of threes as well from time to time, but the field goal is not really affected as much.
I think the good question also is Mikal or Miles, right? Mikal or Miles, because Mikal has
I'll go Miles.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know what's everyone's fascination about Mikal, but I'm not, big fan really. I mean, he's efficient. Yes, he's efficient.
Yes,
that's pretty much it. But the counting stats, if you need the counting stats, he's not gonna be there every night, every day.
Yes.
Unlike Miles, well, we don't know what happens next season, but yeah, I trust Miles on the counting stats.
Mikal's advantage right now against Miles is only steals. That's what's left.
Yep.
Because the other stats, Miles has caught up.
And steals is, somehow fluky as well, as we've seen this season, right? Miles can give you 2-3 steals one game, or maybe by the time you need it. And Mikal is, could not be consistent from time to time, right? So yeah, I still think Miles would be a good pick, but the question is, where do you pick him next year? Because Mikal has been picked way too high, I think.
Yahoo has him in the 50s, right?
Yep.
Yahoo has him in the 50s. So
I don't think you would want to pick Miles Bridges in your 50s, right?
No.
So that's the bigger, I guess that's the better question that we will
top 100
answer. Well, for sure top 100, but Mikal has been way up there in the rankings, and he's been drafted top 60, 70?
Yes.
Actually, 60, 70 for many managers is considered a steal already for Mikal, right? He's top 40, top 50. But for Miles, if we say that you'd probably pick Miles over Mikal, then where do you pick Miles next year, right?
Because for me, I'll pick Mikal in the 90s. So I'll pick Miles ahead. I'll pick Miles 70. I'll be happy with Miles because I picked Evan Fournier this year in the 70s, right? So basically in the 70s, 60s, not 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 100. It's even in those levels, it's a crapshoot. You will not really be getting.
It will not make or break your team.
Yes.
If you make a mistake. So I think, it's next year's. It's a debate for next year, I guess. Before we enter the draft. All right. Pretty much that's it for our daily fantasy quickie. It's a little bit longer quickie, but hey, we love talking about fantasy basketball, and that's what we're here to do. And tomorrow would be Judgment Day, so good luck, guys. Hopefully you guys win your leagues, and hopefully I win mine and Komish wins his, so that we'll all be happy tomorrow. All right, we'll see you again tomorrow for another daily fantasy quickie. Bye.